Hey everybody, my name is Dr. Film, and I'm qualified to be a doctor. Today, in this review, I'm taking a look at a new film released on Netflix, and that is Kate. In this story, we follow a woman named Kate, who has 24 hours to find out who poisoned her before time runs out. Like in my previous videos, there will be no spoilers in this review. And if you haven't seen the movie Kate, I recommend watching it on Netflix. But I have to warn you though, this film is rated R, so viewer discretion is advised. So without further ado, let us begin. Let's first talk about our main action star, Kate, played by Mary Elizabeth Winstead. She was freaking amazing. Her character was riveting, tragic, and by God, awesome as heck. More on that, Mary did so well with her performance and the action choreography, which isn't a surprise seeing as how her first work in action choreography was in Birds of Prey, released in 2020. Every time Kate appears on screen, you would feel her frustration, her rage, and pain as the poison slowly kills her. To sum up, this actress surprised me with her role.
I think when I read the script, it was one of those parts that you read and you go, oh, I can't not play this part. It feels like it's going to be so challenging and so hard and so hardcore. So for me, it was scary in that way, which made it really exciting.
On a side note, the makeup and special effects on her face and body, wow. As for the side characters, they were okay, and I think the supporting cast did alright with what they had. But there was this one character that stood out from the rest of them, and that is Ani. She may come off as a bit of annoying when you first meet her, but over time, you would grow attached to her and feel the friendship developing between her and Kate. It's like I was watching a dynamic duo between Robin and Batwoman. It's pretty cool.
Mary, first of all, she's the first cast member that I met, and she's so great. When you're watching her, sometimes if I'm not working, I'll look at the monitors behind set and just watch her, and she's so good at the fight scene. She brings this aura. It's insane, yeah.
As for the action was intense, raw, and as I mentioned before, Mary Winstead did so well with the action choreography and stunt work on her own. And even if there's no action scenes at the moment, you would invest your time with the characters and feel the suspense knowing that Kate is slowly dying as time runs out. I wouldn't know what to do if I was in her position. If I find out I was poisoned, I will probably react like this.
I can't do it.
Although, I have to admit, there wasn't much action as I thought there would be, considering the fact that Kate is going up against the ruthless mafia in Japan. I mean, I was expecting her to face off against a little more than 100 bad guys. Furthermore, there were some action scenes that weren't memorable, except of course, the kitchen fight scene. Now that I remember. And let me tell you, man, it was freaking brutal.
He really headbutted me for real.
Yeah.
It just was one of those things, we were looking at each other. It was this moment where he's looking at me just with this intensity. So we were in that moment. You know, you stop before you really get there, but we were both so in it that he just full on headbutted me.
As for the soundtrack score, the filmmakers did well, incorporating this stimulating and exciting atmosphere whenever Kate comes in on screen. And sometimes the score is pretty enjoyable to listen to. For instance, this scene. Yeah, I'm digging the vibe here. Woo! Well, this is awkward. Now for the story. The story did well, establishing its characters and the stakes when Kate gets poisoned. However, when we get to the second act, that's when I realized who was the one that poisoned Kate and why. And when my suspicions were confirmed, the rest of the story became predictable and dull. In fact, at the beginning of the film, I immediately suspected that this particular character would be the one to poison Kate. But then I thought to myself, nah, that can't be. Maybe I'm just overthinking. I could be wrong. But unfortunately, I was right. And it shows that the script needed a lot more work and big improvements. Look, I'm not saying the story is terrible. I'm saying that the story has some good moments, but there are also bad moments. It's straightforward, but predictable. Genuine, but stale. It's kind of like a 50-50 situation here. Overall, this film has an engaging main character and pretty intensifying action sequences, but on the downside, it has dull side characters and a predictable narrative. And when you really get down to it, it's just another action thriller. It's no better than John Wick, that I can tell you. But to be fair, you have to give the director, cast, and crew in their commitment in trying to make a good film. Otherwise, this could have turned out much worse. So despite its problems, I still recommend checking it out and see what you think. And for those interested in a gritty, action-packed female protagonist movie, then this is the one for you. And trust me, you won't be disappointed. Kate scores a 7.5 out of 10. Well, that's the end of this review. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please do like and subscribe to my channel for more of my content. And please follow me on Instagram at Dr. Philip Moratzes for updates on my channel. Thank you all so much for watching this review. I hope you enjoyed it. And as always, I will see you guys in our next appointment.